got a job there. They trained me. They actually paid really well. I couldn't pass well, I was probably the wrong candidate for the job first off, and I was, you know, more focused on my music career, let's say. And I didn't pass the test, but I was working there and selling under their umbrella. And they did. They had the folders.
They
I didn't
did?
do well.
No.
Oh, yeah. No, I was fired.
Did you use the folders?
No, I didn't do anything. I just showed up, hungover,
Yeah,
and
right.
just,
The party
yeah.
days.
Those were the days, the insurance association meetings, the conventions, the conferences. It was one big
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of networking got done there too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing with events now. There's a good amount of value that you can grab, but there's so much value in talking to the other agents and learning best strategies and that kind of thing. So
yeah,
hopefully that'll happen again someday.
well, and we're starting to get back into
Yeah.
that. We've been able to visit a few agents in this area in the last month to 2 months.
Huh.
Starting to see that open back up. But we learned a lot over the last year, and we learned a lot about how we can get more value out of that face-to-face meeting by doing some, pre-work on the lead generation side of it and qualifying those leads, and then going through that process of making those introductions and conversations and determine where that value is, where that opportunity is, and then engaging with the face-to-face. Nowadays that's so expensive. And back when we were talking about the early days, it wasn't that expensive to send somebody out and
Right.
do those knocking on doors and calling on people, and you might visit with somebody and not get anything out of it, but no big deal. But now it costs us $200-300 just to have somebody walk through the door of an insurance agency. And so to try to manage that, we've spent a lot more time over the last 4 or 5 years really trying to develop out
Yeah.
our systems and platforms to give us that advantage on the front end.
Well, everything is so analytically driven now, and I think it was just so challenging to really do that back in the olden days,
Data's king now, so
Yeah.
you can figure out how to get it and then and do something with it. I mean, we have so much data now. It's getting to the point where how do we filter through it as efficiently to find the real opportunities?
Yeah. You can get in that analysis paralysis if you
Yep.
take all of it and try to use it. It's like, because it's so awesome, right? I have all this stuff, but
Spend all day looking at data versus picking up the phone and calling
Yeah.
the customer.
Yeah, we do a ton of calls. We have a telemarketing company off to the side, and so we just, there's so much data that you can look at, but we'd like to focus, okay, how many dials, how many contacts, and just keep it simple. And really, it's the same kind of pipeline that you would have done back then.
Yeah.
Just easier to track it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So AIA is the wholesaler, and I'm not as familiar with wholesalers in our business, only because from the retail side, we are captive, so not really anybody comes and talks to us. I know when I was at Merrill Lynch, the wholesalers from the mutual funds and all that would come in, constantly, and I'd love meeting with them because they would always come with a great idea. That's what that was their way in the day. Hey, you have a minute? I have a great idea about prospecting. So is it similar in how you guys are connecting with agents, where you come up with some great ideas to get your foot in the door?
Right. So we try to put ourselves out there as being unique in that we have a work comp program that we manage everything. And we're like a small insurance company, I guess is the best way to put it. We do the underwriting, we handle the claims in-house, we have all the invoicing, we direct bill you. Insured, it's like if you were dealing directly with an insurance company, but it's a small operation. So you get to know the underwriters, you get to know the adjusters, the claims handlers, you get to know the people in accounting by first name. So that gives us an advantage when we're walking in the door, especially with an agency that's used to dealing with these large corporate insurance companies where every time you call, you get somebody different on the phone. Or it's online rating system now where you're just going and plugging information in and getting a quote back. We deal with a lot more complex types of risks, so we tend to have a lot more conversations about the risk, understand the risk, know what's going on. And we expect the agent to do the same. So a lot of we look at an agency to determine, are they the experts in this particular industry or niche? And if they are, we see that as an opportunity for us because we're experts in certain niche areas for workers' compensation. So we are able to go into, let's say, and it's a retail agency that focuses on healthcare or even home health care. Then we say, okay, yeah, these guys may be a good opportunity for us to go and have a conversation with, because our product with our workers' compensation program, we can offer something to them that there's not a lot of companies out there that really go after that type of business, especially from a monoline work comp standpoint. So, yeah, I think that's, you talk about adding that value to the agency, getting that agency something that they can say, oh, wow, okay, that's a great strategy, or that's a good opportunity for us. And that's where we try to focus in to say, hey, we can add that value to what you're giving to your customer, so that when you go and present that quote or present that account, trying to write that account, you've got the backing of someone like AIA that can provide you with additional information that you need outside of just pricing in order to sell the quote. Commercial lines, you want to be in the ballpark when it comes to pricing, but that's not always what sells the account. And for us, once we write it, a lot of times we keep business on the books for years, simply because our claim services are so hands-on.
Mm.
And we in turn help the insured lower their premiums over time, because we give them tools and processes and ways to improve their loss ratio by handling their claims better uh, over the years. So those are some of the things that we really try to focus on going into an agency.
That's awesome.